Every once in a while, someone hears a sentence that completely flips a switch in their life. A sentence that makes them pause and say, wait, that's me. That's what I've been missing. Today might be that moment for you because there's one skill, just one, that quietly decides who becomes successful and who keeps replaying the same year over and over again. It decides who rises and who stays stuck. It determines whether your future becomes everything you want or something you regret. And here's the thing nobody tells you. This skill has nothing to do with talent, nothing to do with intelligence, nothing to do with your background or your opportunities. It's discipline, not casual discipline, not I try my best. I'm talking about extreme discipline, the kind that keeps you moving whether life feels inspiring or absolutely miserable. Because if you really think about it, everything you've ever wanted, your dream body, your financial freedom, your self-confidence, your relationships, your career, everything depends on one question. Can you consistently do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it? And what's wild is that this one skill predicts life outcomes more accurately than IQ, natural talent, or even luck. Stanford literally ran a 32-year study showing that kids who developed self-control early grew into adults who earned more, built healthier relationships, made better decisions, and had happier lives. So if you've ever wondered why you start things but can't stay consistent, why you have ideas but can't follow through, why you feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps dragging you back, I promise you, it's not because you're lazy or broken. It's because you were never taught the actual mechanics of discipline. But today, you will be. And once you understand how discipline works and how to build it, your entire life trajectory will change. Let's dive in. Quick agenda. What you'll learn all right. Before we go deep, let me give you the roadmap for this video. Because trust me, this isn't going to be some vague, be motivated talk. This is a complete system. Here's what we're breaking down. 1. What discipline really is not the inspirational quote version, the real psychological and neurological definition. 2. Why most people today have weak discipline? And no, it's not laziness. Something else is hacking your brain. You'll see. 3. The psychology and neuroscience behind self-control. Once you understand this, discipline stops feeling impossible. 4. The extreme discipline framework. This is the part that changes your life. These are the systems, habits, and mind shifts the top 1% use. 5. Real-life examples of people who used extreme discipline to rise. No fluff, just practical proof. 6. A simple 30-day blueprint to build extreme discipline, step by step. Anyone can do this. 7. How to recover fast when you lose discipline, because you will. And that's normal. By the end of this video, you won't just understand discipline. You'll know how to build it, apply it, and use it to redesign your future. Let's get into the foundation. What extreme discipline actually means. So, what exactly is discipline? Most people get this wrong because they confuse it with motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Motivation says, I feel like doing this right now. Discipline says, I'll do it whether I feel like it or not. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is mechanical. And that's the whole point. People think disciplined people are always motivated. They're not. They just don't negotiate with themselves. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially on the days you don't want to do it. Think of discipline like brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation for that. You don't ask yourself, do I feel emotionally ready to brush my teeth today? No, you just do it because it's part of who you are. That's discipline. And here's the surprising part. Highly disciplined people rarely rely on willpower. They build systems, routines, and environments that make discipline automatic. A relatable example. Someone motivated might say, today I feel pumped. I'm going to the gym. But a disciplined person, they go no matter what. Rain, tired, bad mood, no motivation. Doesn't matter. They go because their identity says, I'm someone who trains. And guess what? Research shows that people who self-identify with their goals, I am healthy, I am productive, I am disciplined, are far more likely to stick to them. Why? Because actions follow identity. And extreme discipline is simply the ability to make sure your identity, not your emotions, is driving your decisions. Another example, motivation. I want to start a business. I feel inspired. Discipline. I will work on my business today for 45 minutes because I said I would. Simple. Not easy, but simple. Extreme discipline doesn't mean strict, painful, military-style suffering. It means alignment. You behave like the person you want to become. Why discipline decides your future? Let's talk big picture. Why does discipline literally decide your life's outcome? Because everything you want is on the other side of consistent action. Your health comes from consistent workouts, sleep, and nutrition. Your wealth comes from consistent work, learning, investing, and saving. Your confidence comes from consistently doing the hard things. Your relationships, consistent communication, patience, effort. Your personal growth, consistent reading, reflection, and self-improvement. Everything is built on consistency, and consistency is impossible without discipline. Here's a simple truth. Most people are not failing because they're incapable. They're failing because they can't stay consistent long enough to see results. Think about it. It's not hard to go to the gym once. It's hard to go every day for 6 months. It's not hard to save money one time. It's hard to save consistently even when temptations show up. It's not hard to start a new habit. It's hard to keep it alive. This is why discipline is the ultimate future-deciding skill. Because talent can give you a head start. Motivation can give you a good week. But discipline gives you a good life. A practical example. Imagine two people start learning editing, programming, or trading. One practices whenever they feel motivated. The other practices every day, even on boring days. 1 year later, one is average. One is exceptional. Not because one was smarter, not because one got lucky, but because one was disciplined. Science agrees. Studies show that self-control predicts higher income, better grades, healthier relationships, more career stability, lower stress, better long-term happiness. Discipline is the universal equalizer. You can be average in almost everything, but if you're disciplined, you will rise. Why most people today have weak discipline? Here's something most people never realize. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because you're living in the most discipline-killing environment human beings have ever experienced. Seriously, if someone from 1970 lived one day with our level of distraction, they would lose their mind. We live in a world designed to destroy your ability to focus and follow through. Let's break this down. Reason 1. Dopamine addiction. Your brain is not designed for the amount of stimulation you get daily. Think about it. Every swipe, tap, notification, like, sound, vibration, all release tiny dopamine spikes. And dopamine is the chemical your brain uses to motivate you to take action. But here's the twist. When you get dopamine easily, from scrolling, binge watching, or short videos, your brain becomes addicted to instant gratification. So when it comes to difficult tasks like reading, studying, working out, or building a business, your brain goes, ugh, this feels slow. Give me something faster. That's why you feel resistance. Not because you're weak, but because your brain has been trained to prefer quick hits over long-term rewards. Reason 2, you are competing with billion-dollar technology. Every app on your phone is built by entire teams of neuroscientists, psychologists, and behavioral engineers. Their goal? Keep you watching, keep you scrolling, keep you addicted. Every time you try to be disciplined, you're fighting an algorithm designed to break your focus. It's like trying to study in a nightclub. No wonder it feels impossible. Reason 3, the comfort culture. We live in a world where comfort is everywhere. Food delivered to your door, entertainment in your pocket, everything available instantly, no waiting, no pushing, no patience. Your brain adapts to that, so when you face real discomfort, exercise, discipline, consistency, it feels unnatural. Reason 4, information overload. Most people don't fail because they lack information. They fail because they have too much of it. Think about it. You watch productivity videos. You follow motivational accounts. You learn new hacks, new routines, new systems. But none of it sticks because you're always consuming but never implementing. You're drowning in information but starving for execution. Reason 5. Lack of clear goals. You can't be disciplined about something you haven't clearly defined. Most people wake up with no plan, no priority, no target, no structure, no timeline. So their day becomes chaotic, and chaotic days kill discipline. Reason 6. Emotional overwhelm. Modern life is stressful. People are tired, anxious, overstimulated, and mentally exhausted. When your mind is overwhelmed, you default to the easiest option, which usually means scrolling, watching, escaping, avoiding, not because you're irresponsible, but because your brain is trying to protect your energy. Summary of this section: your lack of discipline isn't a character flaw, it's a modern problem. You've been conditioned into distraction, overstimulation, and instant gratification. But here's the good news. Once you understand the psychology and neuroscience behind this, you take back control. That's what we talk about next. The psychology of self-control. If you want extreme discipline, you must understand the science behind it. Because discipline isn't just about trying harder. There are actual psychological mechanisms that drive self-control. Let's break them down. 1. The marshmallow test. You've probably heard of this study, but most people misunderstand it. Back in the 1970s, researchers told kids, you can eat this marshmallow now, or if you wait 15 minutes, you'll get 2. Some kids ate it immediately, some waited. The researchers tracked these kids for decades. The results? The kids who were able to wait ended up with better grades, better jobs, higher incomes, better health, lower stress, better emotional resilience. Why? Because they had delayed gratification, the foundation of discipline. You succeed in life when you can say, I choose what I want most over what I want now. 2. Willpower is a muscle. Willpower is not unlimited. It gets tired throughout the day. That's why it's harder to be disciplined at night. Your mental battery is lower. But the good news? Willpower can be trained just like a muscle. Every time you make a disciplined decision, even a small one, you strengthen it. 3. Decision fatigue. Your brain can only make so many decisions before your self-control weakens. That's why successful people simplify their lives. Same morning routine, same breakfast, same work hours, same habits. The fewer decisions you make, the more discipline you keep. This is why Mark Zuckerberg wears the same style of clothing, and why Steve Jobs did the same. They protected their mental energy. 4. Habit automation. Once something becomes a habit, it stops consuming willpower. Reading daily becomes normal. Exercising daily becomes automatic. Waking up early becomes your identity. Habits are how discipline becomes effortless. 5. Environment shapes behavior. You are not stronger than your environment. If your room is messy, your mind is messy. If your phone is full of distractions, your day will be full of distractions. If there's junk food in your house, you will eat it. If your friends are lazy, you will be too. Environment is stronger than intention. Always. 6. The 2 U's. Theory. Psychologists say you have 2 selves. Present you wants comfort. Future you wants growth. Every decision you make is a battle between these 2 versions of you. Present you wants instant pleasure, scrolling, junk food, sleep, comfort. Future you wants results, success, achievement, transformation. Discipline is choosing future you every time. 7. The brain's resistance mechanism. When you attempt something difficult, studying, working out, focusing, your brain sends resistance signals. You feel boredom, anxiety, discomfort, procrastination, avoidance. This is your brain trying to save energy. It doesn't want hard work. It wants what's familiar. Understanding this removes guilt, because the resistance isn't personal, it's biological. But once you learn how to manage this resistance, you become unstoppable. Why discipline feels hard? Let's be honest, discipline feels hard, sometimes painfully hard. But here's the truth. It's supposed to. And once you understand why it feels hard, the resistance becomes easier to overcome. Let's break down the real reasons. Reason 1. Your brain is wired for comfort. For most of human history, survival depended on conserving energy. Avoid danger, avoid unnecessary effort, stay comfortable, save calories. That wiring still exists today. So when you try to push yourself, exercise, work, study, your brain literally resists. Not because you're weak, but because your brain thinks you're wasting energy. Reason 2. You're fighting your old identity. Every action you take is tied to your identity. If your identity is, I'm inconsistent, I always procrastinate, I'm not a morning person, I can't stick to routines, then your brain will fight any action that contradicts it. Your old identity wants to survive. It wants to keep you the same. That's why change feels difficult. Not because you can't change, but because your current identity doesn't want to die. Reason 3. You expect discipline to feel good. People imagine discipline will feel like a motivational video, like they'll wake up every day with a fire inside them. But discipline is often boring, repetitive, slow, uncomfortable, unexciting. If you expect it to feel good, you'll quit when it doesn't. Reason 4. You don't have structure. The more decisions you leave to chance. Should I study today? Should I go to the gym? Should I work on my goals? The harder discipline becomes. Without structure, everything feels optional. Reason 5. You rely on emotion instead of identity. You say, I don't feel like it. But disciplined people say, it doesn't matter how I feel. This is who I am. Your feelings can't be the driver of your actions, because your feelings change daily. Discipline needs to be an identity, not a mood. Reason 6. You start too big. Most people try to change everything at once. New routine, new diet, new habits, new gym plan, new hustle, and it collapses in a week. Small, consistent actions are more sustainable than giant, short-lived pushes. Reason 7. You don't see immediate results. This is the killer. You try to read, study, work out, build something, save money. And after a week, nothing looks different. So you stop. But discipline is a delay-based system. The results come months later. You must act now and trust that the results will show up later. Summary of this section. Discipline feels hard because your brain is wired for comfort, your old identity resists your emotions, fluctuate, you lack structure, you expect fast results. But once we fix these root problems, discipline becomes manageable and eventually automatic. And that's exactly what the next section will do. Identity before action. Here's the game changer most people never understand. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. Think about it. You can try to exercise for a week. You can try to stick to your diet. You can try to work on your dream project. But if deep down you don't see yourself as the kind of person who does that, you will quit. Always. Discipline is not just about what you do. It's about who you believe you are. Identity-based habits. James Clear explains this beautifully in Atomic Habits. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. Once you shift your focus from doing to becoming, everything changes. Your identity shapes your decisions. Present you versus future. Your brain wants comfort and sameness. Your actions will always try to protect your current identity. That's why discipline feels hard, because your present self is fighting the person you want to become. How to switch identity 1. Decide who you want to be. Example, I am a disciplined person. Example, I am someone who works on my goals daily. 2. Act like that person. Tiny daily actions matter. Waking up early, journaling, reading. 3. Reinforce the identity. Celebrate small wins. Track progress. Repeat consistently. Example, I don't wake up early because I want to be healthy. I wake up early because I am a disciplined person. Extreme discipline framework. The 7 pillars, all right. Now we get to the part that will actually change your life, the extreme discipline framework. Think of these as the 7 pillars that support the person you want to become. Skip one, and the whole structure wobbles. Master them all, and you become unstoppable. 1. Clarity. Knowing exactly what you want. Discipline without clarity is wasted energy. If you don't know what matters most, you will waste your time on unimportant things. Steps. 1. Write down your goals. 2. Identify your 1 to 3 highest priority goals. 3. Break them into actionable steps. Example. Instead of, I want to be fit, you say, I will work out for 45 minutes 5 times a week. I will eat protein-rich meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pro tip, simplicity equals power. If you have 10 goals, you have none. 2. Prioritization, important versus urgent. Not all tasks are equal. Discipline is knowing the difference between important tasks, move your life forward, urgent tasks, demand attention, but don't matter. Use the Eisenhower matrix, urgent plus important, do now, important plus not urgent. Schedule, urgent plus not important. Delegate, not urgent plus not important. Delete, example. Scrolling your phone feels urgent. Building your future is important. 3. Systems. Stop relying on motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Systems are unstoppable. What is a system? A repeatable process that guarantees progress. Examples. Wake up, exercise, eat, work, read, sleep habit stacking, after brushing teeth, meditate, journal why it works. When the system is in place, you don't need willpower. You just follow the routine. 4. Environment design. Make discipline easy. Your environment dictates your behavior more than you think. Principles 1. Remove distractions, phone, notifications, messy workspace. 2. Make good habits easy. Place water bottle on desk, gym bag ready. 3. Make bad habits hard. Lock junk food, uninstall addictive apps. Example. If your goal is reading, leave books everywhere you spend time. If your goal is writing, remove social media distractions from your device. Environment either works for you or against you. 5. Delayed gratification. Train your weight muscle. Extreme discipline equals saying no to instant pleasure in favor of long-term gain. Tactics. Mini discomfort challenges. Cold showers, fasting, timed workouts. The 5-minute rule. Start something for just 5 minutes, then continue. Reward yourself only after completing meaningful work. Example. Instead of scrolling TikTok, work for 1 hour. Afterwards, reward yourself with 10 minutes of scrolling. Your brain learns to tolerate discomfort, which strengthens discipline. 6. Accountability mechanisms. Track and measure. Discipline alone is fragile. Accountability reinforces it. Tactics. Habit tracker, calendar blocking. External accountability, friends, coach, group weekly reflection. Example, David Goggins wrote down every mile he ran and every workout he completed. He could see his progress and stay honest with himself. 7. Do it anyway. Muscle, force action. Despite feelings. Your feelings are unreliable. Motivation is fleeting. Extreme discipline means acting regardless of mood. Rules. 1. Start small if needed. 2. Break tasks into micro actions. 3. Begin even when you don't feel like it. Example. I don't feel like writing today. Sit down, open document, write 1 sentence. 1 sentence leads to 10, 20. The work gets done. Discipline equals action, first mindset. Feelings follow action, not the other way around. Summary of the 7 pillars. 1. Clarity. Know what you want. 2. Prioritization. Focus on what moves the needle. 3. Systems. Automate your success. 4. Environment. Remove friction for good habits. 5. Delayed gratification. Train to tolerate discomfort. 6. Accountability. Track and measure progress. 7. Do it anyway. Action greater than feeling. Master these pillars and discipline becomes not a struggle, but a lifestyle. Real-life examples of extreme discipline. Sometimes hearing theory isn't enough. You need proof. Real people, real results, real discipline. Example 1. Kobe Bryant. Kobe was legendary not just for his talent, but for his insane work ethic. 4 a.m. wake-ups, 800 to 1,000 shots in the gym. Daily video review of opponents every night. Even when tired or injured, he showed up. Talent got him started. Discipline made him a legend. Takeaway. Extreme discipline outperforms talent when it comes to long-term success. Example 2. David Goggins. The man literally turned suffering into power. Navy SEAL ultra-marathon runner. Mental toughness, Guru Goggins' principle. Do something you hate every day. Cold showers, long runs, early mornings. He built mental toughness by embracing discomfort. Lesson. Discipline grows when you consistently choose discomfort over comfort. Example 3. Elon Musk. Steve Jobs. Musk worked 100+ hours per week building Tesla and SpaceX jobs, obsessed over tiny details, perfecting products tirelessly. They didn't rely on inspiration. They relied on systems, identity, and extreme consistency. Lesson. Success comes from daily disciplined action, not sporadic brilliance. And example 4. Everyday person. You don't need to be a superstar. Consider someone who consistently works on a side hustle for 2 hours every night for a year. They learn skills, build a portfolio, generate income. Slow, consistent, disciplined work beats bursts of motivation every time. 30-day extreme discipline blueprint. All right, now let's turn this into action. Here's a 30-day step-by-step blueprint to build extreme discipline from scratch. Week 1. Foundation goal. Identify your identity and clarify your priorities. Day 1. Write your identity statement, e.g., I am disciplined, I take action daily. Day 2. Write down your top 3 goals. Day 3. List the micro habits to support each goal. Day 4 to 7. Begin your morning routine. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Exercise, journal. Focus. Small, consistent actions. Nothing overwhelming. Week 2. Environment and systems. Goal. Remove friction and automate success. Declutter your workspace. Remove phone, your social media distractions. Set up habit trackers. Build fixed routines. Work, exercise, study. Tip. Systems plus environment equals effortless discipline. Week 3. Delayed gratification and accountability. Goal, train your weight muscle and stay honest. Replace 30 minutes of distraction with 30 minutes of high-value work daily. Use the 5-minute rule for tasks you dread. Share goals with accountability partner. Reflect daily on progress. Tip. Reward yourself only after meaningful action. Week 4. Action over feeling and review. Goal, strengthen the do-it-anyway muscle. Every day, begin tasks even when unmotivated. Track wins no matter how small. Weekly review, celebrate progress. Adjust plan. Visualize your future self at the end of the 30 days. Tip. Discipline is built by doing, not thinking. Key takeaway. After 30 days, your brain starts rewiring. Tasks feel easier. Resistance decreases. You start to become the disciplined person. When you lose discipline, recovery system. Here's the reality, you will slip. Even the most disciplined people do. The difference is how quickly you recover. Step 1. Accept, don't guilt. Stop beating yourself up. Recognize this is part of growth. Shift focus from failure, solution. Step 2. Quick reset, 10-minute rule. Take 10 minutes to reset your environment, plan, and mindset. Example. Missed workout? Put on shoes and go for a 10-minute jog. Step 3. Small wins rebuild momentum with small, achievable actions. Example, instead of fixing a whole day, do one key habit. Step 4. Weekly reflection. Track what caused the slip, adjust routines, environment, or mindset. Forgive yourself, but learn lesson. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about getting back on track. Fast. Your future with extreme discipline. Now imagine your life if you master extreme discipline. You wake up early, energized, ready to attack your day. You complete tasks that others